We live yet? Not quite. All right. Go. Python's where it's at. Late night learning Python stream. Juan, what's up? Rug, what's up? Solid, Big Connect, what's up, what's up, what's up? How's it going, guys? Today we're starting collections. You guys like that Python where it's at? Stream title.
Hi there, I'm Kenneth, the Python teacher here at Treehouse. Python, like most programming languages, provides different types of containers to put your data in. Sometimes you need a list of things to pick up at the store, or maybe you need to hold on to different attributes and their values for a player in your game. Python has 4 major data types for these things.
Aditya, what's up? Hello, welcome.
Tuples, dictionaries, and sets. Each one has its own little quirks and bonuses, and that's exactly what this course is for, getting you familiar and comfortable with these very common Python features. We'll cover creating, editing, and taking advantage of each of these data types. You'll also learn about one of
How are you guys doing tonight?
favorite
Feel free.
features, slices, which lets you pull out bits and pieces of lists, strings, and tuples.
Matt.
Oh, and you'll learn how to accept arbitrary amounts of parameters in your functions.
Okay.
By the end of this course, you'll have a great collection of
Let me
techniques
pause.
and tips to
Matt,
add
definitely,
to your Python.
I think that you could try it because this, I mean, if you understand JavaScript, you can probably understand this. Shouldn't be too big of a deal for you. How do I think this compares to going through a book or another resource? With this, you can jump right in and start breaking stuff. With a book, you need to go a couple more steps. Congrats on 15K. Thanks. I think we'll hit 17K tonight. So that'll be neat. I'd like to get 20K by the end of the week. That'd be sweet. But Matt, yeah, definitely I think you could follow along. Sebastian, what's up, dude? Chris, what's up? Fantastic. No, I don't want to watch the trailer. Just watch the trailer. Let me in. All right, so we're talking about Python collections. Rug, I would say just give it a shot. So that's how Python looks. Yep.
Hi, I'm Kenneth, a Python teacher here at Treehouse. In Python Basics, I showed you, well, the basics of Python. We learned about a few basic types of data: numbers, strings, lists, and booleans. We also used some basic programming logic like conditionals and loops. In this course, though, we're not going to focus so much on basic building blocks like true and false, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on loops either. Instead, we're going to take a bit deeper look into a huge section of Python known as containers or collections. You've already learned about 2 types of collections, actually: lists and strings. A list, if you remember, is a collection of things in a certain order. Each item has an index which says where it is in the chain of the collection. The first item's index is 0, the next is at 1, and so on. Strings work pretty much the same way. The first character in the string is at index 0, the next is at 1, etc. Both of these collections, and all of the others that we'll talk about later, are iterable, which means that we can loop through them with for loops. Strings and lists have one very important difference. Strings are immutable, which means that we're not allowed to change them in place. If I have the string apple and I change the first letter to be an O, it's no longer the same string, so it has to take up a new spot in memory. With a list, though, I'm allowed to change any or all of the items in the list without assigning it to a new variable and giving it to a new location in memory. Since lists are mutable, they have a lot more bits and pieces to understand than strings do. I think lists are a good place to start this course then, since they're a great introduction to a lot of the other types we'll cover in this course. Let's start the next video off by talking about how to make our lists bigger.
All right, yeah, he's going at like 1.7 speed. Is this web Python or just Python? We're doing just Python right now, novice. We're just gonna try to jump in and break stuff. Been waiting for the stream all day, finally. Yeah, I was working on other things all day. I still have to make a video after this, so at 10:30 for real my time, I gotta go because I gotta make a video. One live stream, 1 video per day. So that's the deal. How you guys doing? You guys had a good Monday? You guys have a good motivational Monday? I'm really tired. It's pretty late, but we're gonna try to make it through. Create. All right, so we need to create a new list. And then for the last, add another list with 2 items. Just call this 11 and 12. Check work. All right, we did it. 4:30 a.m. for you, dude. Go to sleep. What you doing, fam? Salt Lake. Yep. Salt Lake City.
A lot of this video might be just a refresher from Python basics, but understanding how to manipulate lists is really important. You'll likely find yourself modifying lists and dictionaries more than any other data types. So let's start with adding things to lists. There are a few ways to add items to a list. Like we talked about in Python basics, you can add 2 or more lists together, multiply a list by itself to double, triple, or quadruple its size, or use the extend and append methods to increase a list by another list. Those are a lot of methods to remember though, and there's even one more, the insert method. Let's go to workspaces to see all of these in action. So let's start with a list. I'm gonna make a list of a few of my favorite things, and I'm gonna call it favorite things. And I'll put raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, and bright copper kettles. All right, so if I look at my list, I just see those 3 things, right? Now, if I want to add just one more new thing to my list, I can use the plus sign. So I could do favorite things plus warm woolen mittens. And now it's in the list. See, here it is right at the end. If I want to make that change permanent, then I can use the plus equals operator. So favorite things plus equals warm woolen mittens. I have a horrible time spelling woolen.
All right, so one thing here in Python is in JavaScript you can do like over here on the right. Oh, well, that's not good. Over here on the right, you can see that you can do plus plus to iterate in JavaScript, but actually I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger for you guys. Yeah, in Python you can't do plus plus, so you have to do plus equals, which means add to. What do I think about Python courses on Udemy? I don't know, I haven't really done those. Armand, what's up? Streamlabs, it automated a lot for me. Yeah, I will, probably. I should do that. I want to get like, thank you for the follows and all that stuff.
Oops, close the list.
I'll just mute this. We can just see what he's doing, and then I can explain what he's doing. I don't necessarily know or need to know what he's saying. So he's appending items, or he's appending an entire list inside of the other list. He's deleting I think this is the last thing, -1 is the last item. So he's deleting bright paper packages. Yep. Joe, what's up? Thanks to Discord, you're able to get help with Python this morning. Nice. Use Pluralsight a bunch. Pluralsight's pretty good. What do I think about Pluralsight? Pluralsight's more for like IT stuff right now, I think. I have a link for it if you want to check it out. Keep all the team Treehouse streams on a playlist. Yeah, I need to up my stuff, get more professional for you guys. I just have so much to do all the time. I don't really know that it takes like 5 minutes, so I'm just making excuses. Joe, I'm glad you got help though. That's good. But definitely after Learn Python, we're doing Django and Flask, and we'll probably do some machine learning or AI. I don't know, maybe some Raspberry Pi stuff. I guess he's just talking some more. So now he's appending, but he's removing it from an array or a list. So now he's adding it to the array, but not in another array. Machine learning, it's where it's at. How are you guys doing? You guys have a good Monday? Extend. So now if you extend an array with another array, they just get concatenated together pretty much. Extend is so strange, but I'm assuming, yeah, now we have one huge list of stuff. So if you do like, if you have an array of like, hello, and then you have list2 equals hi, and then you do like list dot append, and then you put list2 in there, you'll just get one giant list. Oh, I should probably not do that. You'll just get this would be hello and hi, like that. So that's what he's doing now. Oh, that's kind of neat. I didn't know we could do that. I'm just gonna remove this. Clear the terminal. Is this a tech degree? No, this is just a path. Do I have experience with C++? I did it a little bit in Unreal. Kirk wants to know questions that cause controversy. Can't wait to get into Python. Stuck learning custom WordPress themes for work. Hey, it's not too bad. I mean, that's a transferable skill. Swag team. Thank you for the notifications, Notification Squad. I appreciate that. I've never had one of those before. It feels weird. You have your Lambda interview on the 5th of next month. Nice, man. Just got it scheduled today. Congratulations. Went to your grandma's 80th birthday. That doesn't sound... I'm going to see a triple dots there. The tech degree has the same paths. They have like 12 projects that you have to complete. What's the difference between... Yeah, the $20 a month thing. What's the difference between Atom and VS Code? Atom is really modular. VS Code is faster. I like the interface more, mainly. Atom just gets slow and bogged down. Personal preference. I like the Git integration. I don't have to set up so much stuff. Yanni says, "What's up?" Suomi Berkeley. VS Code's where it's at. I prefer it. It's my go-to. How's the audio tonight? I flipped my microphone upside down. How do you work with SAS? Try Web Toolkit after Django? Well, we got a while to go. How often do I use GitHub for version control? Every day. I use GitLab. How do you work with SAS? Pretty normal. Church of Emacs is where it's at. Some people prefer Church of Vim. Did we miss insert? We did miss insert. Okay, so insert takes 2 arguments. We have the position, the index that you want, and whiskers. So let's go ahead and just jump in the terminal here. So we could do fave thing equals empty, and then we could do fave thing dot insert, and then we could put index 0, and then we could put cat, and then we could do fave thing, and it shows cat. All right, hooray! It's all about that Vim life. Yeah, no. How do you work with SAS in VS Code? The same way that you work with CSS. There's actually a live SAS compiler extension that you can get. I recommend that. Why append over extend? Append adds an item to the last thing. Extend combines other lists inside a list. So is it adding ABC to A? So A is the variable name, and then extend adds ABC. So you can do extend with append, but extend separates them out like that. It extends each character out. I imagine if we do append, let's just try it, I guess. I don't know how to clear this. I should probably figure that out. Let's try it. We got a dot append. Oh, A doesn't exist. Hold. You guys can still see everything. Okay, A dot append, and then we'll do ABC, and then yeah. So that extend breaks it apart apparently. Do you know if Python allows multiple inheritance? I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. Yeah, so we missed the insert. I'll move on to the next one here. Okay, so now we're on to our first quiz here, I think. Yep. Create a list named best, has 3 items in it. All right, so we're gonna add 3 items. We zoom this in. 1, 2, 3. What else am I supposed to do with this? The items can be anything you want. This is it. All right, check that work. All right, next task. Or plus, add 2 new items onto the end of best. Again, the items can be anything that you want. Okay. Number. Copy this so I don't have to type it again. Number 2. Check work. Fantastic. Use the insert to place the string start at the beginning of your list. Okay, so let's do this. And we'll change this to insert. Oh, you guys can't see. I'm so sorry. My camera. Thanks to you trying your hand at Lambda. Nice, David. Congrats. Just let me know, because if you use the link for Lambda in the past 4 days, it was broken. And so you don't get your 250. So if you want your $250 from Lambda School and you use the link, let me know so that I can, yeah, okay. So let me write your name down. That's like pretty important. All right. I'm just opening a Word doc. CMD, all right, well, I'm gonna need a name, CMD encode, or the email that you used to sign up. What coding with crypto transactions like? I mean, I'm not sure. Oh, David Falcon, okay. So we took a vote novice on Python and JavaScript, and the vote won. Okay, got it. Okay, so no one saw your email except for me. How many in each cohort can I say? It's like 75 people, but it's 8 people to a mentor, so it's about 8 people in a group, and then you have a daily stand-up and stuff. And so we want to change this to insert, insert, and then we want to do index 0, comma, separate that. And we want to do start, right? That's what they say. Start, yep, okay, great. All right, we did it. 71 people, yeah. What does what do? Insert? Insert lets you pick the location inside of a list. So you pick the index as your first argument as an integer, and then you do a comma, and then whatever you want. And that's where it'll go. Shopping list app. Okay.
What we needed. We could add things to our list and print out the list in the end. But what if we forgot to put something on the list in a particular spot? If you're like me, it's really annoying to have to go back and forth to the store to find items. It's so much easier when your list is organized, so all of the things that are near each other in the store are grouped together in the list.
I like how this is 4 hours long, or we're like halfway through it.
New items into the existing list where they'll be more convenient. So right now, all I have is a copy of the shopping list app.
Where's that copy of the shopping list app? Rip. Well, yeah, I know we could use .sort. You don't understand sort. Rip shopping list. All right, well, it looks like we're just going to watch because we remember it just was a function that ran some text
I named it shopping list 3 because in that course we ended with shopping list 2, but if you just have shopping list 2 lying around from when you did Python basics, feel free to copy that over. The first thing that I want to do doesn't have to do with the list at all. I want to clear the screen between states. So whenever we show the list or the help or we add a new item, whatever, I want to clear the screen. This will make the app seem just a little bit more polished. So to do that, I need to import OS, and then I'm going to make a new function here that's just called clear screen. And you can, of course, name this anything you want. It's going to use os.system, which is a function in the OS library, and it's going to call cls if os.name is equal to int, else clear. And I'll talk a little bit about what this is doing. So the OS library lets me look at information about the system that my code is running on. So whatever computer is running on, I can find out some information about that computer. And it also lets me run system-level scripts with this system function, like the clear script if I'm on a non-Windows computer.
Hold up, pausing. We need to catch up. What's he doing here with this old import module, import operating system? We need to check that out. Def clear screen. I don't know what that does. os.system. Oh. And then CLS. I don't know what this does. We're gonna find out, I guess. No, thank you. Nav. I can't tell what that is.
This
os.name. Equals nt else clear. All right, let me answer. Def is a function, yeah, so def is function whatever, so don't you have work? Go to sleep, my guy. Yeah, I do have work, but I have to make a video after this. CLS is clear in Windows, okay. Did I get Treehouse sponsorship? I don't know if I'd call it sponsorship. They're not paying me any money up front. Do I still use Ruby on Rails? No, I don't want to do it. That was good, kids. That code stuff. What part of it is giving me issues? Treehouse. Yep. All right, we need to use double equals here. That's why it's having problems. So if you don't know, double equals is a comparison and single equals is an assignment. So it's telling me I'm trying to set os.name to nt, which doesn't work. So we got to use those double equals. Right, anyways, I'm going to go back down here. Follow along.
The show list and show help. So I think I'm going to put it like right here, and I'll do clear screen. And then on show list, we'll do clear screen. And
okay, well, he doesn't want to do that then. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to call it because I don't know what it does. Still think your thumbnails are amazing. The Udemy Python commercials are good. Python, where it's at. So basically, if you don't know, I'm actually going to use the Python where it's at guy, and then every single day that I stream, I'm going to fade out my picture 10% until over the course of 10 days you'll see the Python where it's at guy, and then we'll see if anyone notices. So that'll be the joke.
I think I'm going to add a call to show list after I add an item to the list. So I've added the new item to the list, and I think right here, I'm going to call show list. Now that means this print won't really show up, but that's kind of okay. Now while I was writing this course, I found myself adding some new commands to my list without meaning to. Like I would type in a command like quit or whatever, and it would add it to my list instead of actually quitting. So I want to buff up this if, elif thing just a little bit more, so it's just a bit more resilient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if new item.upper is equal to done, or new item.upper is equal to quit, then we're going to break. Or if new item.upper is equal to help.
So .upper is just raised to uppercase.
Or if new item.upper is equal to show, then we'll show list or continue. And I'm going to actually make
I really wish they included this
so anything else
code
that comes
in the bottom
would automatically be added to the list. If it's not done, quit, help, or show. Okay, so I think that's enough cleaning up, and now it's time to get this new functionality added in. Now before we can ask people where they want to put their new item, we need to show them what positions their current items have. There's a better way of doing what I'm about to do than what I'm going to show you right now. We're going to get to that later on in the course though. So for right now, let's come up here to show list, And we've got clear screen, and we've got here's your list. And let's add a little bit of room in here. I'm gonna make a new variable here. I'm gonna call it index, and it's gonna be set to 1. And now for each item that's in the shopping list, I'm gonna print out a string with a placeholder, a period, and another placeholder. And I'm gonna format that with index and the item.
So these little curly braces are called placeholders, and they hold variables. What is the downloads link for? What are we talking about? My thoughts on the most picked major, computer science, with more computer science grads than jobs out there. My thoughts are that it's not an accurate statement. There are a lot of computer science grads out there, but it doesn't mean they can code. And there's a lot of jobs that require code. What is the download links for under the title? So one of them is for Team Treehouse. It's a 7-day trial. Is that code under the link? Talking about this? What are you talking about? I'll just take that off. So if you want to follow along, there's a link for Team Treehouse in the description if you want to check it out. No, there's no code under this link. Yeah, there's not even a link to go to the other one. Okay.
Closing parentheses there.
Let's keep
and
going.
Then I'm gonna do index plus equals 1. And then I think at
Do
the
Team
bottom of all this,
Treehouse
I'm gonna
courses
print
work
out
on bid project? It depends on which track.
So this index here, I could do this at like a 0. I don't want to print out that I'm at position 0, right? So that's why I'm starting this at 1. So we'll have a 1, and it'll say apples. And then this will increment it to 2. So then the next time it will print a 2, and then bananas, right? And it'll keep going. The increment just updates the number each time. At the end, I'm going to print a bunch of hyphens just to kind of indicate that that's the end of the list. Okay.
So if you're using format and you have 2 placeholders, you need to have two parameters here. So index is going to be this first one, and then item is going to be the second one. And so index will go here, and then the actual thing will go there. So it'll be 1 and whatever you type in the console.
So pretty good. Let's go ahead and add the next function, which will let us add items to list in a specific place, right? And to do that, we're going to modify this add to list function. So right now, we're going to let's go ahead and show the list. I think it actually makes more sense to show the list up there. So we're going to show the list, and then if lin shopping list. So if there are items in the shopping list, so we can of course just do if shopping list, but whatever. Then position is going to equal input. Where should I add? And then a /n. And then on the next line, you can just press enter. You don't need to have anything there. We're going to say press enter to add to the end of the list. And then another /n.
Where's that format though?
Prompt that we've been doing. And we're going to format this with item, the thing that they wanted to add to the list.
Can you guys see this okay?
All right. So if this is the first item that goes into the list, though, then position is going to equal 0. So now we have the problem of what if somebody has given us a string? I mean, they've given us a string, right, because of input. But we have a string. We need to deal with that. What if they give us like some strange random negative number? Because maybe they know this is Python. They know negative indexes exist. We don't necessarily want to confuse people, though, by having them accidentally type in -2, and the item goes to, you know.
You guys don't like listening at 1.7? Let me know.
Position
I listen to books at like 1.8 all day, so
position.
It's normal.
Except value error, which is when we can't turn position into an integer, then position equals none. If position is not none, shopping list.insert position -1, because we've been showing them the positions with a 1, so we need to decrement this back so it's 0 based, and then item. Otherwise, shopping list.append whatever their new item is. All right, which means we can get rid of this. And actually, I think I'm going to get rid of this too.
So we're doing like some checks here, it seems. We're doing a try except value error. I think this is just a keyword in Python. And then position, absolute integer. So we need to make sure that it's in the list. So absolute value turns anything negative to positive if you type in something negative. Shopping list.insert position -1. So this will be the 0 index, I guess, or it will go back 1. See, have I ever used Materialize CSS? I haven't used it. I use Material Design though. It asks for your credit card info, which you don't have. I think you can skip it. Linguistics or soft science degrees are looked down upon by the dev community. The step 1 is to not care about what the dev community thinks about your degree, because there are a lot of people in the dev community that don't even have degrees. And there are a lot of people in the community who think they know everything, and you should just ignore those people. So don't worry about what other people think is what I'm saying. You can get a job. Doesn't matter what your degree is. How and why did I start listening to books at 1.8? I started listening at 1, and then I bumped it to 2, and then I bumped it to 1.3, and now I'm at 1.8. And 1.8 to me sounds like normal speaking, at least on an audiobook. Whenever I slow it down to like 1, I don't hear anything anymore. It wasn't like overnight. It wasn't like I listened to audiobook at like 1 speed, and then over the next day it was like 1.8. It was like over the course of a year. So I listen to books a few times. I'll usually listen to the chapter a little bit before I start the new chapter, just to make sure. Maybe I do miss things, but I think I'd miss things anyways if I was listening at 1x, because I would just get so bored waiting for him to talk. I would zone out and I'd miss stuff.
Again. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so let's walk through what we've done.
Get sponsorship from Audible? Yeah, that's not how it works. You just have to have an affiliate link.
We're going to put here whatever new item is. So they've requested coconuts. We're going to put coconuts right there. Then, if there's nothing on there, we're going to assume the position is 0. Then we're going to try to turn the position into an integer, and this ABS stands for absolute. So this gets us the absolute value of the number. So for instance, a -5, the absolute value of -5 is 5, because even though it's negative, it's still 5, right? And if they've given me a string, like they've given me an A or a, whatever, then that's going to turn into a value error, and we're going to make the position none. If the position isn't none, then the position -1, we're going to insert the item, right? And then if they have given us some position, or they, or it turns out to be none, then we're going to just append it to the end of the list no matter what. Okay, so it's time to try it out. So we're going to save this, come down here to our terminal, and we'll do Python shopping list 3.py. What should we pick up at the store? Well, I want to pick up apples. And since that was the first item on the list, it just immediately inserted it. And look, we've got our 1 and the apples. So cool. I also need to pick up milk. And I'm just going to add that to the end of the list. I'm just going to press enter. Okay, so there that is. And then, I just remembered I need to pick up oranges. And oranges are near apples in the store, so I'd like to put this in at spot number 2. And so there we go. Apples are at number 1, oranges are at number 2, and milk is at number 3. And I should be able to type quit, and it quits. And there's my list. So that's awesome. We got the whole thing to work. I think that's the longest script we've written yet. If you want to try and improve that index bit, though, where we print out the position of things on the list, look up the enumerate function. We're going to cover it later in the course, but I'm sure you can figure it out now. Also, why did I set the position to none? Well, none is a special value that we can pick out. We could have used some specific string or something else too.
You guys can go back and watch the YouTube video at 1.5.
And it's something we can compare against easily. You could shorten the function a bit, though, by setting position to -1 instead, and then just always using insert. I'll leave that change up to you, though. In our next video, let's look at ways that we can take things out of our lists.
Like he's got that auxiliary camera. He's just like, let's talk about this and this and this. Oh, by the way. Craig, what's up? Do I listen to Joe Rogan? Sometimes. Not like consistently. So actually, I think this is a good place. I think this is a good place to pause here because it's 10 o'clock for me, and I think we can just we'll do this quiz here, and then we're gonna pause because I don't think I'm gonna be able to absorb much more information. I've been up since like 5 a.m. So what does the list function do? What? Creates a new list? I assume it both A and B. Maybe both A and B. First list.extend second list. The earth is flat. Alright, bro. You signed up for Treehouse yesterday. Nice, Craig. How's it going? You want to have 1 as the last item. Oh, append. What am I talking about? Append. What am I doing? Team Treehouse reminds you of a glorified version of Udemy. Udemy is like you pay per course. Treehouse is like you pay for access to all of these courses on a month-to-month basis rather than one at a time. They have different applications. Maybe you buy something on Udemy and you hate it. And you want to change it. I don't know. You get the consistency of Team Treehouse, whereas Udemy you have different teachers. Maybe you like different teachers better. I mean, what I would say, just try it, right? How do you get access to the Discord? Just click the link in the description. That should work. Can't see the options. It's okay. Here we go. Let me move my camera over. That's not... What letters will be at the end of this? Well, he's appending a list onto the letters, so we're going to have D, E, F in a list, so obviously B. What is the first argument to the insert method? The index. The plus symbol is used to concatenate two lists together, just like with two strings. Yep. All right, we finished. Keep that momentum. Look at that. Look at those points. How much points do I got? I can't see.
Sometimes there are things in your list that just don't need to be there anymore.
Removing from a list. Oh, there's a dot remove method. That's fancy. Delete, remove. Okay. This is 5 minutes, but this Python collection is supposed to be 4 hours long, but we did it in like, what, 30 minutes? You're interested in the Patreon thing, maybe for September? You can talk to me more about it later. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, Craig. Just let me know. Just shoot me an email whenever. We can go over whatever you need. All right, so I think I'm gonna put this on pause, and we can just hang out for a bit as a community, answer some questions. Some Monday fun day. How you guys doing? What is that momentum graph for? Oh, that's just to like gamify how they do things. So it's supposed to like keep you going, right? The view count's gonna leave. Story of my tattoo. Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot. I still want to be a pilot. It reminds me of true freedom. I've gone flying a few times. Storming, dude. Can we trade? I like storms. Put you guys on the main screen so I don't gotta keep looking over. All right. I'm good, blind man. How am I? It's a long day, man. I'm good though. I did a lot. I've been working. Everyone's like, "Are you gonna add any courses to your Teachable?" And today I added my first one. And I was like, "All right." So it's like a 10-minute learn, Git flow, GitHub, set up your GitHub account, start pushing code to your GitHub in like 10 minutes. So finally have a course on there. It needs editing, but dude, I look whooped. I need some sleep. You're not wrong, but I still got to make a video. So that's how it is, right? Obviously I'm tired, but I'll sleep later. I'll just go drink some pre-workout, stay up, and then get my stuff done, head out. Live stream the video editing. I don't have the video filmed. I could live stream me filming a video. Then that'd be videoception. So I gotta film it, edit the video, and then upload it, launch it, go to sleep, do it again tomorrow. When I was in my boot camp, did I pick up any tricks to help you code and study for more hours? I don't know. Hours studied doesn't necessarily mean retention. Why can't I tell my clone to edit? He's in timeout. Try the energy drink Bang. It's really good for you. Yeah, they're expensive. They're like $2, $3. You have no projects. You graduate next year in June. You can push out one project a week. One decent project. Don't overdo it. I'd take a whole bunch of small, cool projects over one ginormous application. I don't understand why you want to do one project in a year. I think you could make a project in a weekend. Look up how to make a to-do app. You could do it in maybe like a Saturday. Maybe 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday from scratch. Would I recommend any algorithm-like tutorials, or do I know of any? Just look up JavaScript toy problems, and there's a couple GitHub links that will come up, and you can see it there. Yeah, the hardest part of any project is like momentum. Just started watching the channel. Any advice for recent grads on finding a first dev job? My eyes, I need some sleep. I mean, it is what it is, right? Yeah, I'm not going to contest you, but I have other things I need to do. Then I'll sleep. So I would say, Nicholas, you need to have that project portfolio up and going, my dude. You need to have a personal website. You just need to have at least like 3 projects in there, 100%. Suggestions for keeping yourself motivated to take more personal programming projects. Find something that you're passionate about. Like, find something that you like to do that you think maybe an application could help. But keeping yourself motivated, motivation is fleeting, you know? It's like you get motivated, that lasts temporarily, it gets you going, and then like a few hours later, you're like, well, this sucks. How do you keep going through that? Well, my friend, that is called discipline, and that's why motivated Mondays are like, they're fun, right? But they don't last. How do so you can't, I was reading a book called Grit, right? I always talk about books, but I was reading the book Grit today, and I was talking about how a lot of experts in their field, when they're doing good work, when they're doing things they're supposed to be doing, it's not easy for them. When the challenge that you have to do something is higher than your ability, so this is your ability, this is the challenge here. When you're trying to close that gap, it's arduous, and it's painful, and it sucks. But when the challenge meets your skill level, then that's called flow. And then it's good. And I would say most of the time in code, the challenge that you're trying to do something, chances are you don't know how to do it, and you're here. And this gap is uncomfortable. Anyways. Listen to Rick Ross. I was listening to Green Gucci Suit earlier at the gym. He made a little website where you can find verified tutors. It should be Uber, but for tutors. We'll call it the Tuber. That was my personal website URL. It expired. It was just my name, but I used that when I had a job, but now I don't need one, so I let my domain expire, and I didn't want to renew it for $100, so I don't have a personal URL. We're talking about Lil Pump. Sicko Mode by Travis Scott. All right, let me add that to my Spotify list. Do I have any projects that are public that you can look at? Yeah, but a lot of them show a lot of information, so I don't really want to do that. How many projects should you keep in a portfolio? About 3. I mean, they're going to have your GitHub, so the code for your project is going to be in the GitHub, but you just keep your top 3 in there. Is there a point where you can say you learned a language when you've made project? I'd say 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours is that level. We've concluded in science that 10,000 hours is what's required to be master at something, or to achieve mastery in something. But I think you can learn something without being having mastery in it. Especially in this field, when learning is the ability to learn fast is more important than what you actually know. You know? I feel like I really wish that I could go to like a meetup and have like all you dudes there. 1,000 hours. Yeah, maybe. I feel like you could learn HTML in a day. I would say, Johnny, that when you go and when someone gives you a task and you're like, yeah, I have some idea how to do that. Yeah, I know exactly how I do that. Like that moment when someone gives you a task and you know how to get to the end point of that with relative ease, I'd say you could say that you learned it. But if someone gives you a task and it's like this, and you're like, I don't know, I don't really know, I could figure it out, then you're still learning. I mean, you're always learning, but Where do you get to know upcoming technologies? Go to Hacker Noon, Egghead.io. Those are good places. Those are my two go-to. Hacker Noon, Egghead.io. Gloop Gaming. Hi, what's up, Gloop? Welcome. Thanks for spending your Monday night with me. Being able to recall stuff's it's not the important part, because you can Google stuff. Like, you're going to be at work, you're going to know that there's a method out there that does something. So having to recall the specifics. I'm always on the tube. I mean, I got to do one vid, one stream a day, right? So that'll be over 730 videos per year. I think it's hard to not see me on YouTube then. Do I listen to any podcasts? No, I listen to books instead of podcasts. Got to get that monetization. No, it's not about the monetization. It's about brand. It's about getting your name out there. And when you're small, like this channel, you got to do what you got to do. So that means I'm going to stay up until 1:30, 2 a.m. editing a video, and then I'm going to go to sleep, wake up at 5, go to the gym, do it again. Yo, what's up? Good night, Solid Link. It's my favorite part of my current job, and what's my ultimate goal in my career? Yeah, my ultimate goal is not a career. I really would like to work for myself, be self-employed. I feel like helping people and working for myself is my calling, and I would say there's a job where you think it's just a part of life. There's a career where you think is a stepping stone to other careers and jobs, and then there's a calling. And I would say that my calling is to make videos and help people figure out how they can change their life. And there's not really a job position for that. So I feel like the next logical step would be working for yourself, which is what I want to do. I want to be responsible for my own everything. Does my boss watch this channel? Yeah, she jumped in here the other day while she was at lunch. I was doing a lunch stream. That was cool. EE or CS for undergraduate? Obviously computer science. You think I should try an Uberman sleep schedule? Maybe. I can't take naps during the day, right? I have to be available during the day. That's where it gets tricky. You want to try for a degree in cybersecurity after high school? What are some tools you can use to get ahead of the game? Oh man, I don't know a whole lot about cybersecurity. You're not the first person who's asked though, so I should probably get in on that. Figure out what's going on with cybersecurity. Are you real late? All right. Later, dude. See you later. I'm going to go in 15 minutes and I got to film a vid. We're going to do week 2 of Lambda School, so that'd be cool. Have I successfully asked for a raise? Like getting a master's in science? No, I think a master's in science is useless. I mean, unless you want to get like a PhD. A master's doesn't really do much. There's a lot of people with master's degrees that can't even get jobs. Certifications in web development? No, not really. Maybe Lean Six Sigma if you're in production. There's not a whole lot. If you want to ask for a raise based on what you've done. Based on your work achievements and your merit of what you've done for the company. I mean, value-based. How do I keep my work ethic day in? Work every day so you can further your goals, but some days you hate it. What do I do in the situations that I'm having a bad day? I find when I'm in the situations where I hate it, my brain comes up with a lot of ideas to figure out how to get out of whatever it is I'm in. And then I start visualizing where I want to be, who I want to be. It's okay to have those days. There's a lot of Olympic athletes that hate going to training, right? People want to see the people at the Olympics, but they don't want to watch the athletes train. So that's what you just have to realize you're going through. So once you get to that end point, it's glorious, and everyone sees the glorious like, oh, this is so awesome. But like if you got to tell them, all right, well, look, I got to deal with this for the next year. They don't care. People don't care about the grind to get there. Just remember that. So you're just in the grind at that moment. about programming for general? What can you use to get started learning? Can you give any tips? And in what way? Oh, maybe programming. Maybe check out some C++. You're my biggest fan, and I'm your hero. Cool, man. That's cool to hear. I'm not sure why, but I just hope I helped in some way. What's more profitable, freelance or working for a company? Freelance because it's up to you. The more clients you can get, the more money you can make. Working for a salary, typically you're capped at the salary. Work overtime, and it doesn't matter. You don't get paid more. Work overtime, freelance, yeah. Do I get you get the most genius ideas late at night or early in the morning because there's little distraction? It's because your brain's not fully turned on. That's why, mainly. That's why a lot of people suggest that you have like a dream journal or an idea journal right when you're waking up or right when you go to sleep. I have some really good ideas right when I'm waking up. Do I mess with Java? No. I didn't learn it. I didn't go to computer science degree for that. Do I think computer engineering is a valid skill set? Engineering in general is a valid skill set. Armand, thanks, dude. I appreciate you. Yeah, as Novice says, it depends on how good of a freelancer you are. It's like sales at that point. Are you a salesman? Then you probably make a great freelancer. Are you good at networking? Probably make a good freelancer. But majority of devs don't have both of the ability to do dev and communicate and sell and upsell and handle all that. And they don't want to deal with no insurance and taxes. Do I ever have days I'm not motivated to code? Have I done anything to overcome it? Yeah, today was a day I wasn't very motivated to code. And then I did it anyways. There wasn't like this amazing thing that happened that made me overcome it. I was just like, I have to do this because if I don't do it, then I'm not going to be where I want to be. And then I'm going to go to sleep and I'm not going to be able to make up this time. You got to make it count. Got to remember, when you lose motivation, you're losing connection to that light at the end of the tunnel. You got to remember. What programming language am I fluent in? I don't know if I'm fluent in any language. They're always changing. The frameworks are always changing. I would say that I am decent at JavaScript, C#. I talked about the Pomodoro technique. Do I use that most of the time? Sometimes. I usually set a timer. Sometimes I forget, or sometimes I won't, acknowledge the timer. It'll be like 26 minutes, and then it'll be like, take your 5-minute break. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm in the middle of the thing right now. I'm just going to keep going because I know if I stop, I'm going to lose my momentum here. So it's a good way to start things off for the day. But if I'm in the middle of it and it's like 6 or 7 minutes and it's like, stop, take your break. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just going to keep going. But it's a good way. I usually put a timer on. It doesn't have to be 25 minutes. I think you should use it, yes. Put a little pressure on yourself. You'll see what you can do. Like, here is what I've realized. When... You know that feeling when you have to be at work at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever, right? That feeling that you have to be at work. You need to be able to cultivate that same exact feeling about working for yourself on code, on things that you don't have to do, because you know that if you don't have to do it, there's no consequences to it, right? So you need to cultivate the same feeling of like, oh shit, I have to be at work or I'm not going to get my paycheck and then I'm going to not be able to pay my bills. Like, that's the same thing, except with your personal development, except the immediate, like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to, isn't as apparent. Like, you're not going to be able to see those things as much, So that's how I try to remember it. I'm like, I know I don't have to do it because it's like I'm not going to lose anything immediately. But you need to have some sense of urgency. Adderall? No, I don't touch Adderall or Ritalin or anything that messes with serotonin or dopamine. That's how addictions are created. How do I deal with toxic coworkers? Yeah, I don't. I don't deal with toxic coworkers. Do I watch sports? I watch the Red Bull TV channel on Twitch. I think that's fun. But like classic football, basketball, baseball, yeah, pass. No thanks. NASCAR, pass. Any of the classic stuff, pass. Twitch TV or Red Bull TV, yeah. Best college degree for entrepreneurship? Nothing. You don't need a degree for entrepreneurship. Do not go to school for business. There's nothing in business school that you can't learn on your own in less time than that without spending $9,000 a semester. Like, you can be an entrepreneur when you're 10 years old, dude. Don't, like, what skills do you gain? Like, does it tell you what business to create in college? Do they tell you how to get venture capital? Like, capital, like, what are my thoughts on mobile app development? Yeah, that's probably the future. Desktop, laptop for web design? I would say desktop. You need some RAM. I mean, you might get some with laptop, but I'm a desktop person myself. Armand, dude, it's gonna be good. We're gonna talk about whatever. We can talk about code. We can talk about life. Java, right? What? Lemonade. Can you make mobile apps with JavaScript or React, or do you need to know? Yeah, so you can make mobile apps with React Native. How long was it before I landed my first job? About 3 weeks. What is my end goal in life? See, Dylan, that's a logical fallacy. I don't have an end goal in life. I would like for things to carry on even when I'm not here, because, you know, you really die the last person someone says your name. Okay? So I don't have an end goal in this life. I'd like to be able to affect people beyond me, larger than me. And so my goal is to do that. Provide value to other people that think that they can't do something, because I've been there. Oh, 3 weeks after Code Bootcamp Gloop, my bad. I needed to be. Difference between React and React Native. Yeah, React Native has a little bit of a different syntax, and you use that to make phone apps. What are my thoughts about learning algorithms? Have I worked on problem sets on Top Coder? All right, let me just be honest, Robert K. I suck at algorithms, and problems on Top Coder make me sweat, and I should probably do more of them, but I don't, because I'm not good. I'm not good at algorithms. Like, I'm not good at that stuff. How long was the boot camp? It was technically 3 months, but like the last month was personal projects, so literally we got no instruction. We just showed up. So I'd say 2 months. Let's say 8 weeks. Did I see Chris Hawk's new vid? No, I didn't. You don't know what's happening. Seems in trouble. Title says pray for me and deleted. I don't know. Yeah, you only die the last time someone says your name. Do I do any game dev? Yeah, I did. I made a game on Android and Unity, C#, and then I want to learn how to do C++ on Unreal Engine 4. That'd be fun. So not even an engineering computer science degree for entrepreneurship? That's not a degree for entrepreneurship. There's nothing in entrepreneurship you can't learn from a book, my dude. Seriously, there's really nothing that, like, what does entrepreneurship means? Like the ability to cultivate something, right? So I know Unreal Engine's got that Fortnite money. Would I recommend a boot camp or keep it as self-taught? Depends on how you learn. Do you need structure, discipline? Probably go to boot camp. Is it hard to code AI? Oh, man, it depends. I don't know a whole lot about coding AI. That's why I'm learning Python here. TED Talks, but does Ted listen? No, not really. type of music am I into? I like anything but country music. Like, we can do bluegrass, but just no country music. No Georgia Florida Line garbage or any Kenny Chesney garbage. Ugh. No. Anything but country music. Have I seen the game? Scum on Steam. Oh yeah, it looks like super advanced. Like DayZ, right? With like wind, and it's like, people are saying it's like almost too complicated. What's my favorite restaurant in SLC? I'm a simple man, so I'd say the Pie, probably, or that's really all I've been to. It's made in Unreal. Nice, dude. Can I explain that a bit more? I would say, yeah, I mean, if it depends on how you learn. Can you hold yourself accountable every single day and force yourself to do the work when you think that you're stuck and you're never going to figure it out and that code's not for you? A lot of people can't do that. What are my thoughts on Dev Mountain's web development bootcamp? Pass. There's no guarantee with anything Dev Mountain. Dev Mountain does not have any reason to invest in their curriculum anymore, right? If the boot camp isn't providing you with a guaranteed job, don't go to it, right? You're just throwing your money away, because there are so many other places that offer a guarantee. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. It's also been bought out by Kaplan Education, and they kept the name, and then they've raised tuition. So do what you will with that information, but I can't recommend any boot camp that doesn't have some sort of tuition guarantee or tuition deferred program until you get a job. Try Crown Burger. I should try Crown Burger. I don't know where it's at. Everyone says go to Copper Onion or Lucky 13. What do I think of Flatiron School? I emailed them and asked if I could shadow their program or just talk to one of their students, and they didn't respond. They said, well, we'll forward you to the head of marketing, and if there's a match, we'll reach out. Oh, all right. Well, I've seen that 500 times before in any job resume I've ever applied to. What do I think programming on companies that use in-house programming languages? You feel trapped? Yeah, I know that feeling. I had to do that in my engineering job. We used a whole bunch of in-house proprietary software that wouldn't transfer anywhere, and that was part of the reason I felt like if I ever, wanted to leave, I couldn't leave. How would you go about becoming a language specific, like a Java dev or a .NET dev? Don't become a language specific dev. Become a learn quickly dev. Is a 5-year guarantee a real guarantee? What do you mean? There's no 5-year guarantee. What are you talking about? Do I ever dream in code? No. Go to bed? No. I gotta make a video. Got a couple more minutes. I'm actually gonna bounce here in a second. Am I happy that I have my mechanical engineering degree? Do I wish I got into dev? I'm happy that I got it, so now I know that I never want to do that ever. And there's no amount of money that you could tell me to work for somebody, right? Like, do website critique? Yeah. Send it on over. You're going? All right, later, dude. Thanks for hanging out. That's your boot camp. Yeah, Richie, I mean, I don't know. It's nothing personal. I've reached out a few times. They just won't respond. It's not like I have anything against it. For Lambda School, isn't it 5 years? It's not a 5-year guarantee. It's a 5-year income share agreement. You don't pay anything until you get a job. So that's real. So it's not like you lose anything. Yeah, after 5 years, the contract expires, and that's it. So, yep. Watch my video that I did with the CEO. You finished the trilogy U of U bootcamp and struggling to find a job. Yep, they wanted me to be a mentor there. And then I was like, all right, well, can I be a teacher instead? Because I think that would be really cool to do. And they were like, oh, sorry, you don't have 5 years experience in the industry, so we can't let you teach. I'm like, yeah, but I've been working like 2 jobs consistently. They were like, nope, you got to be a mentor or a TA. We can't do it. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. Nope. Also, that's what's happening. You get the Trilogy Bootcamp. They're pairing up with the U of U to build up their credibility, but there's still no guarantee there. It's just like, it's rough. Are they in Atlanta? I don't know. I think they might be in Atlanta now. Don't know much about cybersecurity. Should you learn this by going to college or through the military? I don't know if you want to go to the military and get military benefits, like when I say benefits, like the structure of the military and stuff. I don't necessarily know if you need to go into that to do cybersecurity. Thanks for informally introducing you to We Work Remotely. Also try Remote OK and Stack Overflow. You gotta hang out. What time do I sleep? I don't sleep. I just rest with my eyes shut. Can you get a coding job without a degree? Yeah, 400% true. You enjoyed it, but it does suck for applying jobs nonstop, getting shut down. You've been checking on AngelList. How's your portfolio, dude? Checking out my brand. Love the vision. Yeah, the vision is to connect. Well, this is how I define the brand of me or On Focus or whatever. I connect the people looking to learn code with good resources that invest in the students. I don't want anyone wasting their time. And then after that, what happens after you finish Code Bootcamp, right? Everyone's like, well, now what? The bootcamp just pumped and dumped me. All right, so my goal would be to bridge that gap in some capacity and help prepare people for what it's really like, you know? Oh yeah, I remember the little Magica icon. I still have you in my DMs. I knew it seemed familiar. Good projects. A to-do app, because everyone makes a to-do app. A chat application. A recipe box application. Something with your basic MVC, maybe. Extreme Sudoku. When creating a portfolio, should you include school advanced projects? Yeah, I mean, you should include both if they're good. Doesn't matter. Some good ways to get into web design. Go to awards with 3W, awards.com. Look at a website there. For the hardest part of coding is just getting started. Llama Basher, that is the, like, you could remove the word coding from that sentence and apply that to anything in life, my friend. The hardest part is just getting started. What are some projects I'm working on myself? I don't have a whole lot of time to work on stuff myself. Usually I'm producing content. Like today I've recorded videos on how to get up and running with Team Treehouse. Is the Python stream over? Yeah, we're doing the other half now where we're just hanging out talking about stuff. This will be recorded so you can go back and watch it. What is Treehouse? It's like a site like Udemy, but instead of buying courses one by one, you pay a monthly fee and you get access to a bunch of courses. Consistency is hard when you're a noob. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's not impossible. Don't confuse hard with impossible. Yeah, I wish I was working on more code projects. I just don't. I code at work. I teach students to code. Like, what are my thoughts on Twitch streaming? Yeah, I'd like to do it. It's just that I can't convert the audience from YouTube over that easily. You know, if I say, hey guys, I'm live streaming on Twitch now, like you're gonna lose like however many people just from having to go to another website. If someone asked me to determine my hourly rate, how would I go about it? I'm gonna determine my hourly rate based on what your budget is, mainly. So I'm gonna be like, all right, well, let's skip the hourly rate. I don't do hourly rates, number one. I really don't. I prefer flat rates, and I'm going to be like, all right, well, tell me your budget for the project, and we can just do a flat rate up front. You pay half now, half later if you're satisfied. So that way, if you finish the project early as the developer, hey, you know, like, you're good to go. But if you finish the project late, it's not on the client. They're not paying you extra money because you're slow and can't figure stuff out. But if you finish the project in a day, hey, you just made that entire money in a day. What made me transition from a mechanical engineer major? No, I still have a mechanical engineering degree. I never got a computer science degree. Never transitioned. But yeah, basically the good old boys test. Is it possible to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Yeah, you can do that with restream.io, but it's against the terms of service and you'll get banned. You're not even allowed to use YouTube as an announcement platform to say that you're streaming on Twitch. You'll get banned. Like Linus Tech Tips did that once. He's like, hey, we're on Twitch live right now, with just like a 10-second YouTube video that they deleted. He still got banned for like a day. What are my thoughts on data analysis as a job? I mean, it's definitely good. Definitely niche, great place to be right now. Do I freelance a lot? No. I just make my own. I make my own ideas and try to monetize them somehow. Since I'm into self-help books, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, right? I don't have my phone on me, but I will write that down. Possible to get a full-time job on just pure Python? I mean, not really. Probably not. You're going to be using pure... What's my last project? I don't know. Probably the game that I made. Like, seriously, game that's like C#. I have so much other stuff going on. I don't sit and code because I have to produce content every day. I have a job where I code all day. Then I have another job where I teach code. Then I do a bunch of other stuff. Current favorite NPM yarn dependency or plugin? That's a really specific question. I don't really have one. I can't answer that. That's a good question though. I should think about that. You got me, Jeff. What time is it? It's 10:39. I'm gonna go in 5 minutes. A couple more minutes. Actually, I'm probably just gonna go now. Is it possible? Oh, I already answered that one. Confused about what kind of jobs you'll be able to do. What's the difference between computer science, computer engineering, if you want to do software development engineering? They're all interchangeable terms. Am I into pen testing? I haven't done any of that, no. Companies are pretty forgiving when it comes to junior developers or interns. Absolutely. They know what they're paying for. Algorithms, HackerRank, and LeetCode are useful in job interview, but not so much in actual app dev. Yeah, you're not wrong. The whole point of the brain teaser problems to see that you can solve problems. That's it. Like, you're never gonna do this stuff. You're just gonna Google it. Why do I work so much? What? Because I want to be self-employed. And you can't be self-employed if you're not working for yourself when you don't have to be, right? So if I want to be self-sufficient, responsible for that, like, no one's going to come to me and be like, hey, Josh, here you go. Now you can work for yourself. Like, you have to be doing this stuff. You got to work when you don't have to work. Because who's going to hold you accountable when you finally get to that stage? Might as well start building that. Did I buy Ethereum Classic? Nah. Just regular Ethereum. A lot of people ask me, why do I work so much? I enjoy the process. I enjoy seeing the growth. Keeps me in an uncomfortable state. I always got to keep learning. What do I think about Swift language? Is it bad to limit yourself within the Apple ecosystem? I mean, it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. I just wouldn't put too much into it, especially since progressive web apps will probably take over. So you'll probably be writing your iPhone apps in JavaScript here eventually, just because it's easier to learn one language that can do a lot of different utility things than the actual, like, Kotlin or Java or whatever. Very inspiring and motivational. I don't know about that. I just try to help. Hitting Coinbase tomorrow. It's a good buy today. Yeah, I don't play that day trade game no more. I did that with Bitcoin Cash, so. I wish I'd switched to a CS major instead of going through. I couldn't switch to a CS major because I was in Finland, in the middle of Finland. What language did I build DevCoin in? I built it in Solidity. Yo, Robert K, thanks. If it weren't for me, it'd all be over. Well, that sounds really depressing and dark, but I'm glad that it's not, and that you're here in the stream hanging out. It reminds me that you do nothing after work. I used to come home and just play WoW so much and do nothing, and then I'd start to get depressed because I'd have all these great ideas and then never do anything. I mean, there's like, it's late, right? Like, this is not necessarily my hope and dream. I'd like to be asleep, but yeah, I gotta do. How close is Solidity to JavaScript? It's pretty far. I would say it's closer to like C++. How hard is it to get paid in web design? Is the job population too overflowed? Nah. You keep saying web design. You mean UI, UX? Let's not confuse here. Web design is like the ancient term. UI, UX is the new deal, and they're very different. What do I think of Stencil? I don't know enough about it. If I did have the opportunity, would I have changed to a CS major? If I had the opportunity, I would have dropped out of college and went to a boot camp first. KISOS? I don't know anything about that operating system. Is that like a Linux version? KIOS? No, I don't know what that is. I'd have to Google it. Did I learn C? No, I didn't. Oh, I yawned. Everyone's going to tell me to go to bed. I can feel it. Have I heard that working 100-hour weeks actually dissolves the quality of your work? Have you considered resting more to improve? Yeah, I do rest, but you have to play the YouTube algorithm, Thomas. So if you want to be relevant, you want to grow on YouTube, you can make one video a week and spend 20 hours editing it, and you're going to get the same amount of views as you do if you make a video every single day. So it doesn't matter. Like, I definitely understand that the quality of work decreases. You know, I don't think hours worked equals productivity or quality at all. I agree 100%. Is it better to go to boot camp or be self-taught? Depends on you. That question was asked earlier. Depends on how you learn. If you choose to major in computer engineering, are you stuck programming for people like NVIDIA? No. Is it important to know Linux when getting an entry-level job? No, you just need to know like basic Unix commands for the terminal for like Git and stuff. Maybe a little bit of DevOps. Not too bad. Why is Python where it's at? No, you can get a job in software development doing a lot of different things. Tips for increasing a weak barbell overhead press? I mean, are you what's your weight, you know? Like, what's your rep range? You know, have you considered Twitch streaming instead of YouTube streaming? Yeah, I mean, that was asked a little bit earlier, but it's hard to convert the audience from YouTube to Twitch. You're not allowed to make videos saying that you're streaming on Twitch anymore. You're only allowed to plug it like in your videos on YouTube, so it's hard to do that. There's the more steps you add to your audience to click, say like, hey, I'm going to Twitch. Now they have to go to a new website, find you on the new website, or click the link, and right? And now it's probably new and uncomfortable for them. They might not want to do it again. Like, so what I'm saying is that there will be some fall off of viewership just because you're not on the same platform that you have videos on. Code Train, yeah, I mean, he's pretty exciting. Do I prefer GitLab over GitHub? Yeah, I'd take GitLab over GitHub. Data science bootcamp's worth it. Data science is still pretty new. I need to see the data on data science. How long have I been doing YouTube? I don't know, maybe like a month and a half now, really seriously. I tried to do it really serious last year, and I did what Thomas is suggesting, where you spend a long time making videos, and yeah. It didn't work. So you hate office politics. How much time do I spend talking with others? Yeah, I don't. People come up to me, they're like, "Hey Josh, how's your weekend? What'd you do last night? Like, how was your evening? Did you have a great evening?" I'm like, "Look, Karen in accounting, I don't care that your kid learned to swim last weekend. Leave me alone. Just let me do my stuff and go home." I'm pretty antisocial. They're like, "Why don't you want to be part of the team?" Because I don't want to do this. What are we, kindergartners? Why do we have to catch water balloons? I'm just like antisocial at work, and it's on purpose. It's not because I don't know how to socialize. It's because I don't want to be bothered with your dumb questions. Okay? Oh, your daughter doesn't fit in her swimmies anymore. Oh, so you had to get new swimmies? Oh, and they were so expensive. Oh, but you couldn't find the right pattern for it? I don't care, Karen. Okay? I'm trying to solve this algorithm right now. Please, go back to your desk. Thank you. Let's see. Hello from Ukraine. What's up, dude? Is coding boot camp expensive? Mine was $4,500. I should do a play games with audience on Twitch. Yeah, I'm upgrading my PC tomorrow. Go do accountant things, Karen. Okay? Yeah. No, we have a lot of that. There was a... There was a lady who would make microwaved oatmeal every morning at 5 a.m. when I'd be in the office, and she'd be like, she would come in and she'd type in her little code on the microwave and it'd be like beep, like super loud, and then she would sit on the cubicle across from me and slurp. She would slurp her oatmeal, like soupy slurp, and then she'd tap her spoon on the sides of the glass bowl, and it was so loud. Every morning for 45 minutes straight until she went to get a second bowl. And at that time is when she made her coffee. So then now I have to listen to the coffee maker go, like, I can't handle it. Just leave me alone. I'm like, I have headphones on. Like, I don't think I can push headphones any further into my ear than I can. Karen's watching the stream right now. That's fine, Karen. Hello. Yeah, earplugs plus overhead monitors. Yeah, tried all that. Doesn't work. My cubicle is literally right next to the door of the break room. So not only in the morning when people come in and make their coffee every morning and then like I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. And then they ding their little spoon on the thing. Like, I need noise canceling. Yeah, I do. It doesn't cancel when your cubicle is right next to the thing. So... I can't move anywhere, and I listen to people make their burritos from about 11 to 1 o'clock every day, and then I listen to everyone come in and make coffee and oatmeal and soup, and then they crunch the bags, and like, it's not my favorite, and I really hate cubicles specifically because of that reason. Also, I hate cubicles because I want to go outside. I don't think I'm meant to be inside all day every day. Better to learn Java. I don't know anything about Java. I hate having cubicles, and I hate having my screens pointed towards like where other people can see what I'm doing. Like, you don't need to know what I'm doing, and I know that you're just going to look at my screen and be a little tattletale if I pull up Facebook, because I have Facebook open, and you have Facebook open too. Everyone has Facebook open. And so if I alt-tab to it accidentally, you're going to be like, "Oh, he's not working." Like, do you have anything else to do, please? Leave me alone. Is anyone going to hire you if you have a record? Yeah, sure. Just be honest, open up front about it. Why don't I buy the privacy screen then? I shouldn't have to buy a privacy screen because I shouldn't have to worry about my coworkers looking over my shoulder and being little bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, go mind your own business. What are we, toddlers? Are you gonna tattle on me if I take my hands off my keyboard for 2 seconds to do this and like think about a problem? Because that's what they do. It's the dumbest shit. Literally, because like if you're thinking about how to solve a problem, you might not be typing. You might be like looking at the wall, you know, but in your head, you're visualizing whatever. And then everyone's like, he's just staring at the wall. He's not even doing, like, people have done that. It's not fair. I hate office politics so much. I know, like, it's so funny. People in the office are just like, they get so excited over like free lunch and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I want your free lunch. Let's, oh, we're so excited. We get free sandwiches. Oh my gosh. So awesome. Thank you so much, company. And then it's like, I don't even partake in the free company lunch, because it's just like, it's like the CEO doesn't partake in free lunch or free activities or anything like that. It's just like, you can see that the CEO resents like the peasants of the office, right? Because he's got actual shit to do. He's worried about running his company, and then Karen in accounting is worried about why she can't find like gluten-free salad, you know? And it's just like, you can see the resentment in his eyes. He's like, oh, these people. And I'm over here like, yo, dude, what's up? I got work to do. I'm gonna head out. He's like, all right, you do you. I'm like, all right, you do you. But then you have like these little petty people getting super excited over whatever's trendy. We get free lunch, and like, people get really excited at the office when they don't have to work. It's so dumb. It's like, oh, we get to go play around in the park and throw water balloons at each other because it's a holiday. And it's like, why are you getting excited about that? Like, just do your stuff and go home, man. At least that's me. I'm very introverted. I just want to do my stuff. How many people in my office? Probably like 20. Stay hungry, right on. Yeah, no. Just because I don't partake in the free food doesn't mean I stay hungry. Karen is watching. I mean, good. Karen can watch. That's fine. I've said nothing disrespectful. How long have I been there? About a year. Maybe I can make videos about office politics. So this is the problem. This is the problem with most people. Most people just want to work their 9 to 5 for 45 years until they're 65 years old, and they retire with their 401k, and then now they're the richest old person in the old folks home, and they have a golden wheelchair, but now you're too old to do anything. And that's not my ideal life. I would like to do something different before I'm 40 years old, so I still have some youth to do some things that require physical ability, and I'm not going to get that by working one job building someone else's dreams. You know, so you're either working for yourself, building your own dreams, or you're working for someone else building their dreams. And I choose to do the first. And my CEO and my VP of business, they know this. They're entrepreneurs too, right? So they respect me for trying to do my own thing. I mean, I do good work for them. I get everything done. Like, they don't care. But I can't work a 9 to 5 job until I'm 60 years old. I can't work a 9 to 5 job until I'm 30 years old. I will literally just drive Lyft before I have to deal with office politics. So anyways, I prefer to work remote by myself. New stream, who dis? What's up, Taylor? Are you playing some Dota? I don't know. It makes me a little bit like, it makes me a little bit resentful knowing that the person that's paying me is like, you know, they're making $100 for every dollar that I'm getting, but he's not at 100% smarter than me, but he's getting 100% more money than me, you know? It's just like, no, that's not cool. What kind of job can you have? You have to not deal with not one soul. Yeah, I know that feel. It's called working for yourself. Yeah, you're better off freelancing than doing Uber, Lyft. Yeah, I know they're shitty. It's just a meme. You work from home. Well, I want to work from home for myself, for my own projects, for my own products, for my own, I don't know, my own calling. That's the way the world works. I mean, maybe for you, if you subscribe to that. I do not. Did I ever get any callbacks? I got one. And the other ones, they told me no right away. Well, Mark, you can assume however you think. You can do whatever you want, but I don't subscribe to how majority of things work. I do my own thing. Always been that way. Yeah, imagine if you worked at a larger company. I did. My engineering job was a lot larger than that. So it was like 2,000 people, and I was literally just an employee number at that place. And I would badge in and I would badge out. And my boss had 4 bosses. And I remember one time I was like, "Hey, can I get the card? Even if I work for myself, eventually hire people. How will I pay them?" "Yeah, I'm not going to hire people. I'm going to work for myself and do everything myself. I don't want to have to deal with any of that corporations. And then if I do, then I guess I do subscribe to that methodology where I pay them $1 for every $10, and I hope they realize that they're getting the shaft and they want to do something for themselves like me." So that's just how it is. Am I tired? Yeah. Well, I don't really want to deal with employees, number one. I would pay them for the job they do. Like, this is my flat rate. Get it complete. I don't care what you do in between. What are the hours of a code boot camp? They're pretty strict depending on where you go. There's a lot of do-it-yourself stuff. Yeah, I mean, the boss owner took the risks, right? That's why he's there. But that's why can't I be that person? Why climb the corporate ladder when I can own the corporate ladder, you know? I don't like being called an employee. It just feels derogative to me. Anyways, this is why I'm so pro working for myself. I'm aware some people are okay with working for someone else and like finding someone else's dream just as exciting as their own, but it's not for me. I just can't get passionate about what someone else is doing because I got so much other stuff I want to do. Have I coded in Solidity yet? Yeah, I made a dev coin. It's on the Ropsten test network. Technically, you're still an employee. Well, I mean, technically, you're an employee to the people who are paying you. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? You want to play the devil's advocate. I mean, I get it, but you know what I mean. You know, it's up to you to make that paycheck. It's up to you to put the food on the table. I'd rather like try and fail. We'll make it happen. I mean, it's a risky thing. My dad did it, he failed, and I watched him, and it like destroyed him inside. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If you work for yourself, no one tells you what to do, where to be, how to do things. You just gotta figure it out all on your own. Make your own schedule. Hold yourself accountable. Like, I'm not a toddler. I don't need to be disciplined by the HR disciplinary committee. Like, well, I'm not a kid. Leave me alone. Ageism and hiring. Not so much. You can't get over being micromanaged. Yeah, I mean, I can't do it. I can't be micromanaged. Can't be told what to do. So, I don't know. If anyone says that I can't do it, I'll just outwork whoever says that I can't do it. I'll either outwork them or I will die. It's just like the Will Smith quote. I said this yesterday, but when Will Smith gets on a treadmill to work out with somebody, he will either be the last one off of that. He will be the last one off of that treadmill, or he will die. And that is how I feel about working for myself. I will grind myself into the ground and succeed, or I will die. Like, that's it. Because I can't do a 9 to 5. It's more stressful, maybe. It depends on who you are. I kind of like it. I like the risk. If I had a bad start to the week, something demoralizing, no, I'm just very passionate about the subject of self-employment. Because I've been dicked over by like 4 companies. So they ran out of money and they just let me go because they didn't have any money. Meanwhile, they do have money, and the CEO is still going to go home at the end of the year with his $1 million a year salary, and I'm looking at being homeless, and so that just makes me very, very resentful of that. And so I decided that I don't want to have to put that paycheck in someone else's hands other than my own. Right? Happens the first time, oh, I'll just get another job. Happens again, oh, I'll just get another job. Happens the third time, you're like, all right, well, this is starting to suck. If this is going to keep happening, it's not my fault. They just don't having money or, whatever. And then the 4th time, it's like, all right, well, what would be my highest obstacles? I don't think about that. Yeah, they let me go 4 times. How do you get let go from a job 4 times without money? And like I was literally 14 days from being homeless. 14 days. And so it was just like, I don't want to work at Apple or Google because they want you to work there for 14 hours a day. That's why they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because they don't want you to leave. Which job was this, Taylor? The startup that I worked at ran out of money. The PHP job ran out of money because they hired me on for a project that fell through. Oh, now they don't have the money to pay me what they brought me on for. And then our job, no money. Goodbye. Every single time. And they didn't care, right? The CEO and the CTO they get to go home with their cushy whatever. I'm over here trying to figure out how I'm just going to put food on my table and pay my mortgage. Because, I don't have parents to go home to. I don't have grandparents to go stay with. I have no one to go stay with. You work at Google and you don't disagree? You don't work 14 hours a day? All right, well, maybe I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but I think it depends on your manager. I lost my parents. No, my parents lost everything that they had, and now I support them. My dad worked at one company for 23 years because company loyalty. Talked about this yesterday. One company for 23 years. They laid him off, no pension. They took his house, everything. And so I moved him to Utah, and now I support him and my mom and my sister, and they live in the basement of a rental house that I help pay rent for. And so he tried to start his own company right after they laid him off, but the non-compete clause meant that he couldn't do that. So they sued him after they laid him off, and he started his own company to stay alive and put food on the table, and they sued him, and they lost. And so they took everything he had. And, yep. You're one of the VPs. I hear that a lot of people on the lower level work like, they have like death marches. If you don't come in on Saturdays and Sundays to get your stuff, then you're in trouble. Well, it's difficult to see my father in that position because he's 55 years old now, and no one will hire him because he's 55 years old. And so, he put his loyalty into one company to get dicked. And so, you have that feeling, oh, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go stay with my parents, I don't have that. I can't go anywhere. And so I feel like it's all on me to do my thing and support everyone. How do I like Utah? And it's pretty good, about 3 years. I mean, 55 is young, you're right, but he can't get a job doing the things with his skills. What's his skills? He's a mechanical engineer. He's a mechanical engineer, and he started his own company fixing, well, it was mechanics and design, but mechanical engineering pretty much. Can he start a business? He started a business, and then he got sued. He can't start a business now because he doesn't have the capital to do it. He sold all of his tools. He sold his van that he had everything, like... I've made posts on Reddit before, and all these people reach out, and they're like, oh, we'd love to give him a shot at interviewing, and then they disappear. I send them the resume, they disappear. Where's he located? I moved him from Georgia to Utah, so he lives in Utah here, like 45 minutes away from me. Yeah, I mean, there's a distance limit now. He could. It's been over 2 years. He could do it again now, but number one, he doesn't have any contacts here. Right? And then number two, he doesn't have the capital to get a van and do all that stuff. Why did I move to Utah? It was the only place that gave me a job offer out of college. It's a weird feeling when you think that, oh, I'll just go back with my family. Yeah, it takes money to make money, but he can't make money because no one will hire him. And I make the money. The money that I make goes to support them so that they can eat dinner. Like I bought him a car, like, I don't know. Maybe he networked. Different folks, different strokes. I got a job when I was 25. I worked before that at Subway and, all those little jobs you get when you're a teenager. Have you encountered any non-compete? No. If they did that, I wouldn't accept it because that's insane. Farhad, I mean no, disrespect to Google. I've just heard things, I'd rather take some risks. Everyone has their own preferences, Have you ever thought about going to structural engineering? You're a truss designer. You work remote. It's pretty easy. I applied to a few places remote, but because my degree is from Finland, it's not accredited by the ABET Association, meaning I don't have chemistry that you would have to take here because that's included in the curriculum there, but it's not like a specific class. Anyways, it's not accredited, so it's hard for me to get. Maybe teach my dad programming. He doesn't care for programming. He just doesn't care. Yeah, I have a mechanical engineering degree. What do I do besides YouTube? I lift a lot of weights. And then I put them back down. I do it again. What workout supplements? Just beta-alanine, caffeine. I think it'd be cool to have Google on my resume, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just use Google to kind of lean on. Everyone just wants to get to Google and then bounce. How do I make a living? I have a full-time job. Is what happened with my dad the reason for my career switch? No. Working with proprietary software, and then wondering if I ever got laid off, would I ever be able to get a job again? And so right after I swapped to learning how to code and coding for a job, they laid off 10% of the employees at my engineering job, and I was in that list of 10%, and I would have been absolutely screwed. I would have not been able to get another engineering job because I applied to almost everything in Utah. Network security. I don't know a whole lot about network security. Farhad. Well, I mean, I hope I've been helpful. It seems like you probably know more than me about Google, but, I mean, I can't believe they successfully sued my dad on a non-compete. Yeah, I mean, it was 2 years long, and so he couldn't do anything. I don't sleep a lot, mainly. Drink a lot of caffeine. Is it okay for you to be honest over YouTube? I mean, sure. I don't say anything really offensive. I'm just telling you how it is. I try to be honest. Just keep things real. Yeah, I mean, how do I work and do web dev and eat and do all that? I don't know. Learn code for myself. I didn't learn. I went to a boot camp. Well, Perry, the lawyer garnished his wages because he couldn't afford. He thought he was going to win, right? Because in Georgia, the non-compete law is if the non-compete is something that you've been doing over X amount of time, and that's the only thing you know how to do to make a living, and I'd say after 23 years, that's pretty much the only thing that you know how to do to make money. He thought he would win, so he fought it. He took it to court, and he's like, there's no way they could sue me for something that I've been doing for 23 years, because it's the only way I know how to work. This is the only thing. And he lost. And he couldn't pay the lawyer because he was confident that he would win, and the lawyer garnished his wages, and then they took his house, and they took his everything. 1 year turnover. I mean, I'd like to meet people at Google. I'm sure there's a lot of smart people there. I just like being held accountable for myself, to myself. Yeah, Perry, I mean, it's not a great situation. Just get super good at Fortnite, Twitch stream. Am I going to Dev Mountain? I went to Dev Mountain. I wouldn't go there again. There's no code guarantee anymore. Right, some lawyers only get paid if they win. Yeah, but in this case, it was lawyers getting paid regardless, but the other people were going to pay him. More artistically inclined. Do I think front end or UI UX would be a better choice? You're living in Reno, Nevada. It's not a huge tech town. It's becoming more so. You're going to have to know a little bit of both, to be honest. Have you ever written TypeScript? No, I've never done that. Jen, I'd say that you're going to need to know like basic jQuery and JavaScript, CSS and Sass, and then if you can design on top of that, that'd be fantastic. Going back to Finland, how are the developer opportunities there? I can't just go back to Finland. When the wife asked for a divorce, she took my visa. So it's not like I can just go back. I'd have to find a job, and they'd have to explain why they couldn't find an EU person to do that job. Will AI replace programmers? Probably after a while. On a long enough timeline. What games do I play? I like to play Overwatch. Yo, how you doing? I'm pretty good. How you doing? 11:16. Man, I need to make my video for tonight. Where do I currently work? I mean, you can look at my LinkedIn. Morning, I look tired. I mean, it's 11:17 at night. Been up since 4. You like the merch? Thanks, man. You play a lot of Smite, Warframe. I can't do Warframe. Warframe's a little bit too much of a Skinner box for me, you know? Get better stuff so that you can kill stuff faster, so that you can get better stuff to kill stuff faster. So, I can't do Warframe. Views on point of sales technical support roles? I definitely do it. Got a midnight deploy going on? Oh, I know that feel. Do my friends make fun of my last name? If I had what I would call friends that make fun of my last name, they probably wouldn't be my friends. That seems like the smallest thing in the world to even notice. There are so much larger problems in the world that if they notice my last name and that it could be coincided with something funny, that's like, really? It's like people ask me, they're like, why didn't you get braces? So now everyone's going to look at my teeth, right? But it's just like, if someone doesn't like me because I don't have perfectly straight brace teeth, like, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Esports growing. Ever thought on getting with a pro team, providing them services with my skills? What skills and services do I provide? What are my goals with streaming? Streaming is for engagement. I don't want to be the guy on the other end of the YouTube videos where, I'm just you see the video, you watch it, but you can't talk to that person. So that's what these streams are for. Hardest recursive function? Any recursive function? They're all the hardest. What are my goals? Yeah. Do I watch fitness YouTube channels? Yeah, I like to watch Vintage Genetics. Man up, you say. Okay. Ask better questions. Any self-development, self-help chat groups that I know of? I don't know. I just read a lot of books. Hodgett twins? I know who they are. I don't watch them though. Least favorite thing about my favorite language? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. It's pretty late. It's hard for me to answer these questions. My favorite coffee? I don't drink coffee. I drink pre-workout. I take it to that next level. Next.js? If Taylor's still here, he likes Next.js. Machine learning, AI project, I haven't had time yet. If I can figure out a way to work on myself full time, I have a whole bunch of other plans. I got to get to that point. JSON or XML? Okay, now you're asking a really simple question. Obviously, let's go with JSON. JSON Derulo. Next.js ride or die. Yep. Do I have Finnish roots? You saw a Finnish flag. I was married to a Finnish girl. I lived in Finland for like 5 years. Went to school in Finland. Got a Finnish degree. Why don't I start a fitness channel? Because I don't take anabolic chicken, and so my gains would be natural and people would lose interest, mainly. Is my logo a ripoff of the Apache logo? No, it's a copy of my tattoo because I have a feather tattoo. How much sleep do I get? Probably not enough. How often do I drink Red Bull? I don't really like Red Bull. Kimmo is definitely from Finland because that was my wife's brother's name. Kimmo's like it's a badass Finnish name. Is that guy that barks at you still around? Yeah, he's still here. I saw him the other day. Ever dabbled in iOS? No, not specifically. Your last name is Finnish? Yeah, it looks Finnish. You envy my ability to function on 5 to 6 hours of sleep. It just looks like I'm functioning. Top 3 books: The War of Art, The Obstacle is the Way, The Millionaire Fastlane. Am I in Bitcoin? No, I'm in Ethereum. Digital signal processing? No. Future in Android? Yeah. Experience is required when applying for jobs overseas to get a visa sponsor? Yes. Sorry you're late to the live stream. It's all good. Get more sleep for my brain. I will. Finishing the web dev track will help you get a job ready. It'll get you pretty close. You gotta do some stuff on your own. You should make your own crypto. I did make my own crypto. Have I developed Ethereum decentralized applications? I haven't done that specifically yet. Why can't you rewind the stream? I'm not sure. Only Ethereum? I mean, I have more coins than Ethereum. Got a little bit of Litecoin. I got some Enigma. I got a whole bunch of altcoins too, but I would say 70% of what I have is in Ethereum. Waiting for that proof of stake. ETH is tanking. Can I code games? I have coded games. The future is Dogecoin, obviously. Do I invest in the stock market? I did, yeah. I bought some Netflix, Nvidia, Amazon, all that stuff. Tech stocks. Restaurant? Oh man, someone already asked me that. I'd say the pie. Nelson, do both. Two more minutes. I'm going to sleep. iOS or Android? Oh, Android all day. Invest in AMD. They can't get any worse. Invest in GoPro. Invest in Twitter. They can't get any worse. They are looking for new people. All right, look, I can't make an entire Fortnite myself. And I don't really want to work at a gaming company because they know they're a gaming company, and like 9 million people want to work at gaming companies because they don't know the actual work-life balance sacrifice that you have to make at these companies. If you're interested in coding, you have no idea where to start. Try out some HTML and CSS. Everyone's going to say JavaScript, but all the tutorials are going to tell you to go into your Google console and type in 2 plus 2, and you're going to be like, all right, well, why did you... when would you use this? L-theanine? Yeah, I have my own supplement company, so it's working on growing it. I haven't been shilling it, maybe eventually, but I have my own pre-workout. I have my own L-theanine caffeine pills. I have theanine, caffeine, synephrine, a whole bunch of nootropics. I just don't talk about it. It's not ready yet. Take me out to coffee and tea? Yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. All right, we got 10 seconds and I'm out. I mine Bitcoin? Nah. I did for a little bit. I don't want to kill my GPU though. All right, guys, I'm out. I got to make my vid. I got 30 minutes to do it before tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live stream. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. Sorry for, getting a little deep emotional there with the self-employment stuff and my dad, but, you guys... Thanks for the support. I appreciate everything. Am I into photography? Yeah, I like video more though. But Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow.